Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and I'm bringing you guys my team builder for week 5 of the MPL. We are going up against Aaron 2 for 20, coach of the Calgary Infernapes, and definitely recommend you guys check him out. He and I are both new additions to MPL. He was added just a few weeks ago to take over from Melantosh, and he also helped out with Uzi's games a little bit before that while Uzi was dealing with some stuff. So good to have him, and obviously I'm new to MPL this season since week 1, so you know, I'm really enjoying myself so far in MPL. All the dudes in MPL are real chill. Rogue does a really good job of running the Twitter and things like that, so I'm pretty pleased with the experience overall, and so that's quite nice. Aaron and I also were recently together in P4G Next Generation, where his team actually beat mine in a playoff elimination game. He actually had a sub, but it was still the team that he drafted. He brought a Chlorophyll Tropius, which ended up winning the game for him, which is wild. And then he and I are in the upcoming season of the GBAD League, which I should have posted a draft analysis for earlier in the week, so I do recommend you guys check that out. We have a very fire team, and the draft stream was on Sunday. It was very good. It was run by Jolt and Aster mostly, so big shout outs to them. I'm sure I talked a little bit about how well they did in my draft analysis video, which I haven't recorded yet at the time of recording this. But anyway, let's take a look at this squad and then hop on into our team builder. I'll try and go through this pretty quick because Aaron and I should be battling very soon. And the sooner the better, because I actually have to go back into the office, and that's really unfortunate. But you know, it is what it is. But Aaron's team features Terrakion, Jirachi, Snorlax, Suicune, Mandibuzz, Florges, Aselgor, Mudsdale, Incineroar, Mega Ampharos, and Gourgeist. So his team is incredibly thick. incredibly thick. It's actually crazy. Just he has so many Zard answers. Suicune, Mandibuzz, Mudsdale, Incineroar, even Snorlax to an extent, because it can run a thick fat set. All are very, very good at dealing with Zard. Terrakion has super effective stab and outspeeds it, which is crazy. Potentially a Scarfrachi can flinch us down with something like, what's it called? The Psychic move? Not Zen Headbutt. I mean, Zen Headbutt does have the 20% chance to flinch as well, but I was thinking of Heart Stamp, which has the 30% chance to flinch. Of course, with Serene Grace, all those odds double, so it's a 60% chance to flinch. But yeah, so he has some of the best DD Zard answers that I've seen on any team, period, which is crazy. But a lot of his team is grounded, and he doesn't have a poison type, so we're going to try and abuse that with a hazard stack strategy featuring Toxic Spikes, which I will get to, I guess, at the end of the video, because for some reason my Quillfish is all the way at the back. So we will start up at the front with our SD Zard X, which just totally obliterates his team, actually. So DD, yes, he has plenty of switch-ins that can take 1 or 2 hits and retaliate back with something that's pretty good, like Suicune could be packing Roar to roar us out, Mandibuzz can pack Foul Play to do a lot of damage, Mudsdale can easily drink a hit. So we sort of neutralize a lot of those mons by running SD Outrage. Like Suicune takes 90% minimum if it's a fully Fizz Def set. Mandibuzz takes 91% minimum. So what else? I don't know the Mudsdale calcs off the top of my head. I'm assuming that Mudsdale actually still takes it relatively well, because Mudsdale is thick AF. Let me just quickly do the calc here, and I can drag it over. No, I don't want to look at Choice Band here. Give me a second, guys. Let me pull this over so you guys can look at it. Let's make this fully Fizz Def with an Impish Nature. So yeah, I mean, just as it is, it takes a lot. And then if you go to +2, you know, if I go for 1, he gets the stamina boost, and then he goes to +1, and then I'm not gonna be able to kill him with the second move. But as you can see, Outrage and Flare Blitz both do 99% minimum. So if I go for an SD on the switch out, I should be able to bop him, especially if he already has a Brox. So he comes in at 94% instead of at 100%. So yeah, this thing just takes a lot of lives, and it's very hard for him to revenge kill us with anything not named Terrakion. If I lock myself into Outrage, a fully, a max HP Jirachi still takes 67 from +2 Outrage. Florges, yes, it can be immune to the Outrage, but like I have max HP on this thing. What is Florges gonna do in return to Zard? Like I'll just you know, finish my Outrage, and then I can go for Flare Blitz and bop it. So I'm really hoping that this thing can serve as a wall breaker to pave the way for some of my other mons. Some of those being my Expert Belt Greninja, Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, Night Slash U-Turn, pretty standard looking Greninja. I decided to go Night Slash instead of Dark Pulse, just in case he's a Calm Mind Jirachi, and he starts boosting up on that side. It just seemed like a prudent thing to do. I'm sure that Night Slash still does like 75% or so. So that's very nice. U-Turn is great because if he wants to bring in his Suicune on this, or Florges, or whatever, I can very easily U-Turn and then go into an appropriate check. So that's the plan with Greninja. Pretty straightforward. This might be the thing that cleans up in the late game. If he doesn't have a Scarfer on his team, this outspeeds anything not named a Selgor and can polish him off. A Selgor is a little bit scary for my team. It's part of the reason I decided to go max HP Zard, because this can pretty safely switch in on non-Final Gambit versions of a Selgor. So that's very good to know. But yeah, so this should be able to polish everything else off. And I'm not expecting like Scarf Terrakion or anything, if I'm being honest, because he does have so many good defensive answers for DD Zard. So yeah, not really an issue. I think we'll have to sort of play it carefully, right? Like I don't want to lose to Scarf Terrakion in the late game, because I don't have a ton of great CC switch-ins. So we just have to be very careful of that. To outspeed a Selgor, we do have a Scarf Xurkitree. With this EV spread, I do outspeed a Selgor that is speed creeping, max speed Crobat. So Crobat hits 200. If he goes Timid Nature and goes up to 201, we hit 202 with this spread. So that is quite nice. I was thinking a little bit about making this Timid anyway, so we could outspeed a +2 Ampharos. And that probably is the better thing to do. But I already gen my team, and I'm not in the mood to change it. So, you know, we'll just cross our fingers and hope that Aaron doesn't bring that. I know Aaron likes to bring some pretty cool sets. So, Agility Ampharos is not at all out of the question, but we'll just cross our fingers. You know, my old boss has an expression, hope is a shit strategy. So let's hope that that doesn't come back to bite us here. But I have a few mons that can potentially drink one from Ampharos if it's absolutely needed. So we'll keep that in mind. But yeah, otherwise, this moveset hits his whole team. If we do eliminate Mudsdale, then Scarf T-Bolt is extremely good versus his team, because I guess he has Gourgeist as a switch in an Ampharos, but otherwise T-Bolt is looking mighty nice. And like Gourgeist, I don't think is likely to come because of Zard. Ampharos, I guess, is a little bit more likely, but we'll have to see. So yeah, that is my Xurkitree set. Next, we do have a Sub-Taunt Superior, and I really like this for dealing with really a lot of his team. Like anything not named a Selgor is total bait for this, which is nice. And this is a good way to beat Suicune. So a sort of normal Superior set would lose to Vincoon, because it can very easily stall out my Leaf Storm PP, because I only have 8 PP on Leaf Storm. But with Sub-Taunt, we can get up a sub, protect ourselves from Scalds and things like that. We can taunt him to prevent him from going for sub or protect or whatever. We can get off Leech Seed and get passive recovery, and we can be very, very, very conservative with our Leaf Storm PP versus that thing. Like, we might not even click this at all, period. Sub Seed is also really nice for dealing with Mirror Coat variants of Suicune. Like, you could be running Assault Vest or Rindo Berry. So this allows us to scout for that pretty safely, which is very nice. Just a sort of bulky spread, enough speed for Terrakion, rest into HP into Spadef. I guess I could have put it into defense. Doesn't really make much of a difference. Spadef maybe allows me to hit, or take a hit from Ampharos a little bit better, even though I don't really hit it hard in return. But I digress. So next we have what I mentioned before. We have a Toxic Spikes Quillfish, Toxic Spikes Haze, Pain Split Liquidation. And Haze is there for mons, excuse me, like Curse Snorlax that get out of hand, or for like a Suicune that gets out of hand or whatever. I could have run Taunt as well. Taunt was really, really tempting so that I could prevent Mandibuzz from defogging, because Qwilfish doesn't really threaten Mandibuzz that much at all. But, you know, at the least we can Pain Split up on it and do some annoying things. Because we can continue to Toxic Spike on it, and he can defog for forever. Which, you know, I guess he could do. What has more PP? Is it defog or Toxic Spikes? Probably defog, right? Defog. No, we have more PP on Toxic Spikes than we do on defog. So if he wants to prevent me from Toxic Spiking, he'll have to go for like Brave Bird or Foul Play or whatever, and that'll cause him to take Rocky Helmet damage, and eventually he'll start roosting, and we can Pain Split and whatever. So like it's gonna be annoying, but I think it'll be okay. And I have other mons that can take advantage of Mandibuzz, like my Xurkitree. So that's good. But yeah, Toxic Spikes just wears down his whole team so much. And so it's a really good strategy. Shoutouts to Jacob, as always, for pointing this out to me. He's now joined my front office along with the rest of my gang. So thanks to all of them, as usual. And then last but not least, just a pretty standard Donphan set. Physically defensive. A little bit of speed on here to outspeed Gourgeist if it's needed. Not that I can hit Gourgeist at all, but if I have to get off a Desperation Toxic or something, that's nice. And we do outspeed the speed creeping Ampharos with this set, which is good. Figgy Berry, like, I guess I could have just run Leftovers, but Figgy Berry seems kind of cute in combination with Sturdy. Like, if he has a, if he's got like a Z move Terrakion, I can bring this thing in and survive a hit and get back up to 50% HP, and that would be very nice. So that's the team this week. Wasn't really considering many other mons. Maybe Hitmontop for switching into Terrakion. Giving me the dual Intimidate option would have been really cool, but I decided that I wanted Greninja more than that. Otherwise, yeah, like, this was a really good team. Shoutouts to, again, everyone in the front office for helping me brainstorm. And yeah, so make sure you check out the match. It's going to be going up tomorrow. I promise, guys, that I will get the match up on time, unlike I did last week, where I got an issue with Google Drive and I wasn't able to upload remotely. So that's my bad, but I hope you enjoy the battle in either case. Make sure you go check out Aaron. Make sure you check back to my channel for other gaming and Pokemon content. And until the next time, I'll see you guys later.